Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I would like to share this Casio DBC32 digital watch, and it is a databank calculator watch. It is an interesting watch. It has a lot of functions. Today we're going to have a look at it briefly. We're going to do a visual comparison with some other databank calculator watches and some other databank watches that I have just for fun. And then we're going to finish with some final thoughts. So this watch would probably cost you about $60 US, which is about 85 to 90 Australian dollars, given the current exchange rate. These are some of the other watches that we're going to look at in this video, but first I'm going to go ahead and run you through some of the functions and have a little more detailed look at the DBC32 Casio digital watch. And don't you love that large screen? Great to display a lot of information. Okay, looking at the functions, the top right button will activate the light, and you've got an orange LED light there in the left hand corner. From the home time screen, it gives you immediately in nice large font the day of the week, the time, seconds, the full year down the bottom there, and excuse me, there's a watch beeping at me. The full year and the date on the bottom right hand corner. So, and there are indicators here as well. So from the home time screen, if we push the mode button, we're going to go straight into the databank function, which will give you up to 25 assignable entries for your databank. Names, telephone numbers, any other information that you wish to put in there to keep completely offline. No need to charge. Fantastic access to instant information. I love databank watches for that very reason. Another push of the mode button will take you into calculator mode. And as you can see here, you've got calculator mode there, and if you push this button, it will take you into currency exchange mode, so you can actually enter a specific currency that you'd like to convert, and it will automatically do that for you. I'm not going to show you exactly how, because it's pretty simple, and this is not so much of a how-to video as it's just a showcasing the watch and doing a visual comparison with some other databank watches. Okay, so from calculator mode, we'll push the mode button again. Oh, it's going to bring us back to the home time screen. So let's just zip through. From calculator mode, we push the mode button again, and we're into alarms. 5 alarms. Using this button, we can cycle through the 5 alarms, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Multifunction as well. You can see there it's got the multifunction aspect. Another push. After the alarm mode, we have a stopwatch. Pretty basic 24-hour stopwatch, all the while displaying the current time at the bottom left. So I think that's really cool. I like that feature. And dual time. So you have dual time as well if you're traveling. This is really handy and convenient to quickly change time zones. And then we're back to the home time screen. So a very efficient watch. It looks nice and it's very efficient, got a lot of functions there as well. So this Casio DBC32 ticks a lot of boxes for me. Water resistance, I would say no, definitely no water resistance. But just while we're here, we'll show you another one. So this is the current model. This is a model from the 1990s. This is a DBC 150. So as you can see, the light is different. Get those two lights going at the same time. You can see there the light looks different. This has a lot more entries, user assignable entries. It's got 150 spaces for names and telephone numbers, whereas this one does not. And this one also has the currency exchange. So there are different features and different functions on these different watches. There are different generations. And of course you've got the silver version, which is the same. That's the silver version with the metal bracelet as well. This one's actually fairly new and it's already got a fault. And I think the reason it's got a fault is because it got wet. And so the screen is faulty slightly, but nevertheless it still exists. And of course your DBC 611. This is from the 2000s and I believe they're still selling these on eBay. It's got the mushy keypad. If you know anything about this particular model, you'll know that the keypad sort of disintegrates. It's very difficult to find a good condition version of this. But I like the look of it. I really like these completely separate display squares. So you've got the top section that's completely separate to the bottom section. So it's a little bit different there. And of course you've got a light here as well. A very dismal small light there in the corner. There it is. So I believe this is a current version of a Casio Databank calculator watch, and this is a version from perhaps 10 or 15 years ago, I would say, in the 2000s, although they seem to still make them. And then you also have this old one. This also needs repair. I'll showcase this on another video. It's a 1980s Casio Databank calculator watch. So you can see the difference. Huge difference in weight as well. This is much heavier. So I'm going to show you a full display of all these watches and discuss them a little bit. But the main thing is I wanted to talk about this watch today because it came to me. It looks like an automatic. Do you see that? There it is. It's got an automatic light. You turn your wrist and the sensor will turn the light on. Isn't that cool? I like that. It'll probably eat the battery, but that's just part of life, isn't it? Forever changing batteries in watches. On my 7.5-inch wrist, it sits nicely. It's a good size. I can read it. It's comfortable. I think this watch would be fine for anybody's wrist. Whether you have a small wrist or a large one. Perfect. Another great feature about this watch, it is multilingual. So you have an option of up to 13 different languages that the watch will display. So I think that's incredible. So you've got your currency conversion, you've got a 10-year battery, and of course the multilingual language options that you do get with this watch. So this is from the instruction booklet, and as you can see we've got English, Portuguese, Spanish, French, Dutch, Danish, German, Italian, Swedish, Polish, Romanian, Turkish and Russian. Okay, let's get into a visual comparison quickly before we wind things up. On the left, 1984 was the CD401, this non-working Databank calculator watch. Beautiful looking piece though. That's from the 1980s. The 1990s, over here we've got the DBC 150 with the electroluminescence. Then in the 2000s we had the DBC 611, and so that's there. And then alongside that is also a DBC 32 with the metal bracelet, and it's quite uncomfortable, the bracelet on that one. Then we've got this thing, it's a CA53. It's not a Databank watch, but because it's a calculator watch, I just thought I'd throw it in there. And on the right, of course, our DBC 32. So guys, I think a lot of you may, if you know anything about Databank calculator watches from Casio, you would have probably realised now that the numbers are all over the place. If you look at the last 30 to 40 years of the different models that have come out, they really are inconsistent in their numbering. It's actually crazy. There's a really interesting forum that you can go to, and there's a guy that discusses in detail every single Databank calculator watch that was ever released, and it is an incredible read. If you get the chance, have a Google and have a look, and you'll soon realize that there were dozens and dozens of different models that came out just in the 1990s, for example. So guys, also I have some Databank watches, the non-calculator models. So these are very similar, but they just do not have the calculator component. So we've got the DB580, the DB520, the DB810, and this VDB2000, which I reviewed recently, and that is a touch screen Databank watch. That's an interesting piece there. So there's a few more there that are kicking around. Some are old, some are newer. And I'm fortunate enough to have a few of these lying around that I can show you. I can play with them and maybe showcase in a YouTube video, which is what I enjoy doing. I do think these are fantastic things, and they were very important back in the day, before we had smartphones and smartwatches and Apple Watches, that type of thing. So guys, in summary, the DBC32 is a useful watch. I think it's interesting. I like the design. It's got your 25 Databank entries you can store in the memory. You've got all sorts of other functions, including the multilingual function and the currency converter and the calculator, etc. And a nice light. The light is very useful. Alright, well that's it for today, guys. Thank you once again for watching. I hope you enjoyed this and that you got something out of it as a viewer. I really do appreciate you checking out this channel and having a look at my videos. And if you want to see some more videos, there is a playlist of just Casio watches, and you can go ahead and check those out if you like. Thanks again, take care, and bye for now.